Last year after the All-Star break, they were well beyond their years down the stretch.
A baseline J. Again, the miss.
Continue to try and get.
I don't know how that one stayed out.
That's tipped. And Harden's got the ball to outside. Unloads from 13. They get the rebound. Kicks it out to Bradley. Gets the jumper from the corner to fall. Bradley's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, I like the way he orchestrated in tight that time, fellas.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
I was able to talk with Brad Stevens for a minute. He said that they'd be focusing a lot of their defensive energies on containing Ty Lawson, especially in transition. He added, Lawson is one of the fastest players in the league. So if you let him get out and run, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. We've got to keep him in the half court and limit his penetration. Guys?
Thanks again, Doris. Here's Lawson. Following the bucket by the Celtics. Harden can't hit.
Last year really made some leaps still due to injury.
Now here's Olynyk. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Harden left side to the paint. And it's Lawson. That time on the assist by Harden. Lawson's got his first basket.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Sullinger did continue to improve last year, Clark, but you can't ignore that he had to miss time once again.
Yeah, and you hope that he'll be able to stay healthy for a full year at some point. When he's on the floor, he's a hard matchup for just about every team in the league.
Pushing it up, and it goes out of bounds. That one's off Bradley.
And taking a look at some numbers for Harden. Great showing for him last season. He put up about 27 points a game, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. And the numbers, while pretty outstanding, I mean, we've now come to expect that from this guy.
Completely in harmony with what his coach is trying to do there. Just a marvelous all-around talent.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Jones comes in for Moniunas. Brewers, and it's Patrick Beverley in for Ty Lawson. Here's Beverley following the score by Avery Bradley. And the basket by Jones.
I like the way they're working the ball inside because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots and typically good things happen.
Shots good by Lee.
Very high quality shot. Can't get enough of those.
Last game for the Celtics. Was a loss to the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
Just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but all of those misses from the stripe clearly had an impact on that game.
And the jam by Tyler Zeller.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish. And able to pad his stats a little bit there on that play, the board and the bucket.
And you know, Greg, that'll put him in the good graces of that coaching staff, too. My goodness.
Kevin and Greg, hard work on the offensive glass always does that. I mean, his fans will remember the dunk, but the coaches love the rebound.
Boston making a switch here. Urebko's checked in. Boston trailing. Well, looking back on last season, you could see the Rockets were tough at home. They just were relentless at going at teams.
Yeah, how about a 30-11 record last year? And a lot of close ones for them, but that home crowd at times could just really will them to victory.
As it did help in the series against the Clippers last year in the playoffs.
And, you know, for Houston's wins at home, a lot of it had to do with their three-point shooting. I mean, they shot an average of 35% from behind the arc at home. but kept their opponents to under 30% on the year in Houston.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
And guys, this is what makes Houston so good and why they've been so good for so long. In the last 31 seasons, they've only had 2 losing seasons. Only team in the league to do that.
Now here's Sanders. Shot clock at 5. Houston moving it around. Here's Beverly. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Beverly's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Now here's Smart. Defended by Beverly. And Jones over to help. Here's Lee. Good, and Smart gets the assist.
You know, looking around, he knew one of his teammates was going to be open when they hit him with that double team, and he took advantage.
Here's Jones. Can't get it to go. Good D by Lee.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Now here's Smart. He's guarded closely. Dishes it to Lee. No luck. Well, it's been a high-scoring, competitive game through the first quarter of play. Rockets lead by 2. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Lured away from a very successful tenure with the Butler.
The only hard part of that decision is leaving a place that you really loved for 13 years. I couldn't have left without knowing that it was a place that we were.
I wonder if Coach Brad Stevens feels like he's recruiting another college class with all those draft picks locked in his stockpile.
Well, I don't know how he would address that question, but I do know he's feeling real good about his decision. I mean, taking the Celtics to the playoffs in just his second season. I mean, I think he's one of the bright coaching stars in the NBA today. It was the NBA's game and college basketball's loss when he moved on to the Celtics.
Well said. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they're showing some muscle also in the first half as well, and getting a lot of their points in the paint. Really like the balance they've shown.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for the Celtics, the big men are Sullinger and Olynyk. Turner is out there with Bradley, and it's Crowder in at the 3 spot. And watching Jake Crowder, he can really boost you up, Greg, and take you out of your game. One of the most physical wings, I think, in the NBA.
And, not the most flexible athlete, but he makes up for that with that strength that you mentioned. It allows him to control the pace. I mean, he's a bumper and a grinder and hitting a big 3 out of nowhere. So he's what we call a true gamer. That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Lawson drives in. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. This break in the game gives us a chance to look at the teams with the most points off turnovers last season. The Rockets 4th.
And they turned all those mistakes into points at the other end. That aggressive style really yielding big dividends.
Turner dishes to Sullinger. Turner with a screen for Sullinger. Back to Turner. Olynyk up top. Sullinger the screen. That evens the score.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Harden, no good.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his...
Totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now. He's meant to go so far.
Accurate with a jumper from the elbow. Harden's got 6.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim. That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
It was a tough battle down the stretch, but the Celtics were able to get back into the playoffs last year.
And kind of just hovering around all season, but give them credit. They fought their way in and spent only 1 year out of the postseason in their rebuild.
Olynyk inside, working on Moniunas. Olynyk can't hit.
Well, if this game comes down to the rebounding battle, they'll be the ones coming out on top.
They've had a strong game on that front, Clark, no doubt about it.
Houston moving it around. It's tipped. Moniunas kicks to Lawson. Cranes the three-pointer. Lawson's got 5.
And, you know, for the Celtics, the actual playoff series didn't go well. They got swept by the Cavaliers, but most people will remember the injuries from the series more than the play, and the Celtics have a bright future, no doubt.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Larry Sanders is checked in for Howard. Terrence Jones comes in for Moniunas. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Corey Brewer. And it's Patrick Beverley in for Ty Lawson. So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. David Lee's checked in for Olynyk. Johnson comes in for Jared Sullinger. Jerebko's checked in for Crowder. And Smart subbed in for Turner.
Well, listen, it was a forgettable series for Celtics fans. However, the Celtics' young core were able to experience postseason basketball. That's something that you can really never replicate. I'm sure they'll be hungry for more of it, and credit Brad Stevens on a terrific job.
Here's Johnson, and Jones sends it back. And here we go. Fast break. Beverly's got it. And he gets it to go. 8 points for James Harden.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
There's the screen. Now here's Smart, defended by Beverly. Jerebko kicks to Bradley. Johnson the screen, and it's Bradley off the drive. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Bradley's got 8 points.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Rockets leading by 3. To the middle. Harden, no good.
No other way to put it. Just teammates have picked up the slack.
Well, for James Harden, with his incredible regular season last year, Clark, you knew he was in for a great postseason as well.
And it was a bit of a roller coaster for him in the playoff run. I mean, he could vanish one game, but then explode for 40 in the next.
And with Harden in the playoffs, it was an all-or-nothing situation at times. He definitely stole some games for Houston in their run to the conference finals. But, man, did he have a rough one when they were eliminated by the Warriors.
And, you know, that tough game for Harden in the conference finals. A dozen turnovers for him, set an NBA record for most turnovers in a playoff game. Not how he wanted to go out, but he showed he can carry a team for stretches during the playoffs.
Bradley against Harden. And here we go. Beverly heading to the hoop. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Beverly. Beverly's got 5 assists in the game. Celtics trail by 3. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And he gets the bucket. And that's 10 points for Avery Bradley.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
And Beverly kicks to Harden. Corner shot. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Now the pass to Lee. 3 seconds left. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got 6 assists in the game.
Love the assist. I mean, he knew exactly where that bounce pass had to be to create that opportunity.
And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. It's the Celtics. They lead by 1. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. Boston found themselves in a close game in the first. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and inserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Rockets.
One thing I really like is their pace.
And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Without question, Avery Bradley displaying his skills tonight.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Modiunas and Howard the post pair. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. And it's Lawson in at point guard. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Kevin McHale.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
They set the pick. And it's Bradley off the drive. No good. Great D that time from Lawson. Houston in the lead. Here's Ariza. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Ariza's got his first bucket of the night.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assist. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Turner can't get it to go. So Houston will take it the other way. I want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have. Well, so far for Coach Brad Stevens, the Celtics have had nothing but praise for their outstanding young coach. No surprise for those of us who know Brad. The team is really moving ahead in the rebuilding process. He gets a lot of the credit.
Jay Crowder's jacked in for Boston.
There we go, fans. Keep it going.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. Smart with the ball. He's picked up by Ariza. To the left wing. Crowder kicks to Sullinger. To the inside. Here's Olynyk. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Smart's got his 8th assist here tonight.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using the size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Shot by Crowder, no good. Rockets leading by 5. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on James Harden. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
And not afraid to put his body on the line either, Greg. He took a shot for the team in that situation.
Corey Brewer's checked in for Houston. And a change for the Celtics. Zeller's checked in. Montezuma's with the steal. And it's the Rockets on the break. And Harden with the basket on the assist by Lawson. And now a 7-point Rocket lead.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
And it's sent back by Howard. James Harden again. Harden's got it. Points here in this quarter.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
It's been a difference maker for them in this game. That's what's put them in front. They just can't miss. Everything they put up, it seems, goes in.
You know, sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. They are certainly the bugs tonight. Nothing going their way.
And I'm not even sure that I want to be the windshield.
No, maybe the windshield wiper.
Yeah, right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
To just 9 points on the basket from Zeller. Well, last year, Tyler Zeller both started and came off the bench, showed he could be an effective player even when playing heavy minutes.
Yeah, and if you look at the games that he played as a starter, he increased his usage, and it didn't bother his production at all.
And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
Brewer's shot is off.
And for Zeller last season, his numbers were the same or better as a starter. The scoring picked up a touch. Still had a great field goal percentage, too, so really solid production in his first couple of years.
It's Harden with the drive, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
And I think the big thing for Zeller was that he found his role in the league. He knows he'll be an energy guy who has to make the most of his touches. And to his credit, he is nothing but a positive force on the floor.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Sanders checked in for Howard. Jones comes in for Monty Eunice. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Ty Lawson. And a new group in for the Celtics. Lee's checked in for Tyler Zeller. Johnson comes in for Sullinger. Jerebko's checked in for Marcus Smart. And Bradley's subbed in for Jay Crowder. Here's Bradley. No good. And Houston the other way now. There's 38 seconds left to play here in the third. Harden kicks to Jones. Lee with the steal. And pushing it up, here's Boston. And Bradley gets it to go. Here is Harden. He's got 25. From outside the arc. And that one's good. Beverly's got 6.
The shot quality is very good here, and they're making most of them this half.
Yeah, converting at a really high level. The field goal percentage continues to creep upward.
Beverly against Turner. And here is Lee. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Rockets lead by 13. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next.
Every diamond's a flake.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Celtics trail by 13. And a look at the 5 for the Celtics to start the fourth quarter. Bradley is out there with Evan Turner. Then there's Jerebko. Then it's David Lee. And it's Olynyk in at the center position. Bradley, no one around him. That 3 off the mark.
And that'll increase their rebound advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the boards.
You know what? No rebounds, no rings, and they've controlled the boards, and that's what's given them control of this game.
He dishes it to Olynyk. And he's good on the 3. Olynyk's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Boston. And Beverly kicks to Sanders.
Celtics foul call. Kelly.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
At the line for 2.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
And the Rockets making a change here. Howard's checked in. Jay Crowder's checked in for the Celtics. Smart comes in for Evan Turner. Lawson the pass to Sanders. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet. Sanders has got the lead up to 13 now for the Rockets. Smart dishes to Olynyk. And it's off from three-point range. Houston's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Just a total loss of concentration right there.
And, Greg, if they continue to make those kinds of mistakes, then this game could turn even more south on them. And south.
Monty Eunice is checked in for Larry Sanders. And a change for the Celtics. Jared Sullinger's checked in for Crowder.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
And guys, you know, we've talked about it before, but it bears repeating. Dwight Howard may be the best overall rebounder in the last decade. 5 times out of the last 8 years, he's led the league in rebounding. That's almost impossible to do in the modern NBA.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thank you, Kevin. Brad Stevens had some words for his team over the break. He doesn't think they've been giving it their all, saying they've been quicker to rebounds, to every loose ball. We gotta wake up. The game's slipping away, and we're letting it happen. We have got to take control of this thing. We'll see if he lit a fire under him, guys.
Howard is still Clark, an efficient rebounder, still prolific, in fact, but he's no longer dominant. Last year, he had not one 20-plus rebound game. Tell me the last time that happened.
Well, you know, this being Dwight's 12th season in the league, Kevin, a lot of wear and tear on him. I think he's trying to fight through it, and he's still very much more than serviceable. Wants to get a ring, and he's doing his part to try to make that happen.
Rockets leading by 15. Lawson kicks to Beverly. Got a piece of it. Back to Lawson. Here's Moniunas. And the 3 off target.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
The shot's good from Lawson.
It's been about tempo and pace with this group, and it's led to a huge advantage in fast break points.
Greg, it's really the main reason they're in front. All that early offense. I mean, when they've had the chance to push it, they've pushed it.
James Harden, he's checked in for Patrick Beverly.
For your Rockets, James Harden.
Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Bradley passes to Smart. And there's the feed to Olynyk. The jump hook. Moniunas grabs the miss.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
Howard dishes to Moniunas. Offensive rebound. Celtics trail by 17. Outside Bradley. Boston on the double team. And it goes on about.